Imagine you walk into a hotel lobby after a long flight. The lights are soft, the floor is quiet under your suitcase wheels, and there's a scent in the air that feels clean, warm, and strangely familiar. 10 minutes later, you could describe the furniture and the music, but that smell might be the detail that stays with you for years. Today's episode is about scent design, also called olfactory branding. It's the practice of creating a deliberate smell for a space or a product experience, the way a company might choose a logo, a playlist, or an interior style. And it's not just perfume shops. It shows up in retail stores, gyms, cars, museums, airports, hotels, and even in packaging when you open a box at home. This topic sits at the intersection of art, chemistry, business, and human memory. It also raises uncomfortable questions. When does a pleasant atmosphere become manipulation? Who gets to decide what clean should smell like? And what happens to people with asthma, allergies, or migraines? Let's start with the basics. How do humans actually smell? When you breathe in, tiny molecules travel into your nose and meet receptors high inside the nasal cavity. Those receptors send signals to the brain, and the brain interprets them as a scent. What makes smell so powerful is the route those signals take. Smell is closely connected to areas involved in emotion and memory. That's why a single scent can pull you back in time faster than a photograph. Scent designers use this connection. They aren't only thinking, does it smell nice? They're asking, what story does this smell tell? Citrus can suggest freshness and energy. Soft woods can suggest calm and reliability. Vanilla can suggest comfort. But these associations are not universal. They're shaped by culture, personal experience, and context. So how is a signature scent built? Usually, it starts with a brief, a document similar to what a design agency would receive. A hotel brand might say, "We want guests to feel grounded, safe, and quietly luxurious. Our locations are urban, but we want a hint at nature." A sportswear store might say, "We want something crisp, active, and modern, but not like a men's locker room." Then perfumers and scent engineers propose a few options. They might describe them like music, top notes, middle notes, and base notes. Top notes are what you smell first, often bright and volatile like citrus or herbs. Middle notes appear as the top fades, often floral, green, or spicy. Base notes last the longest, often woods, resins, or musks. In a store or hotel, the scent has to work differently than on skin. A perfume on a person warms up and reacts with body chemistry. A scent in a room has to travel through air, mix with cleaning products, food smells, and even the scent of people's coats when it rains. It also has to survive air conditioning and open doors. That's where delivery systems come in. Many places use cold air diffusion. Instead of heating oils, which can change the scent, a machine turns fragrance oils into tiny particles and distributes them through ventilation. This allows for consistency. Some systems are standalone, like discrete diffusers behind a plant. Others are connected to HVAC systems so the scent spreads evenly. But scent design isn't only about spreading perfume into the air. It can be much subtler. Some brands scent their packaging. When you open a box, the smell creates a first impression before you even touch the product. Some companies scent paper, fabric, or even the foam inside a case. This is part of what people call an unboxing experience. Now, why do companies invest in this? Because scent influences behavior, sometimes in ways people barely notice. Research in consumer environments suggests that pleasant ambient scents can increase the time customers spend in a space, improve their mood, and make them evaluate products more positively. The effect is not magical mind control, but it can tilt the atmosphere. There's also a concept called congruence. A scent works best when it matches the brand and the context. For example, a beach-themed store with a heavy cinnamon scent would feel wrong. The brain detects the mismatch, and the result can be irritation rather than comfort. Scent designers aim for an experience that feels seamless. Let's look at some real-world scenarios. In hotels, A signature scent helps create continuity across different locations. You might stay in the brand's hotel in Seoul, then in Madrid, and the lobby scent ties the experience together. It becomes a kind of invisible logo. In retail, scent can separate zones. A cosmetics area might have a clean, soft floral scent. A leather goods corner might use warm woods or subtle smoky notes. The goal is not to overpower, but to guide. In car showrooms, the new car smell is a famous example. Interestingly, it's not exactly one substance. It comes from various materials releasing volatile compounds, plastics, adhesives, textiles. Some people love it because it signals newness and status. Others find it harsh. Car companies have even explored how to standardize or soften that smell so it feels premium rather than chemical. Scent design also appears in workplaces. Some offices use gentle scents in reception areas to reduce stress and signal cleanliness. But this is controversial because colleagues cannot opt out. A scent that one person experiences as refreshing may trigger headaches for another. This leads to the ethical questions. Is scent design manipulation? The honest answer is that it can be persuasive. Just like lighting, music, and layout, scent shapes decisions and emotions. The key difference is awareness. People tend to notice a loud song, but they might not notice a scent, especially if it's consistent and low level. Another issue is inclusivity. Many people are sensitive to fragrance. Some have asthma, some have skin reactions. Others experience migraines from certain compounds. Public spaces adding scent can unintentionally exclude them. That's why some environments, like hospitals, often prefer fragrance-free policies. Regulation also matters. Fragrance ingredients are complex. Some are natural extracts, some are synthetic molecules. Natural doesn't always mean safer, and synthetic doesn't always mean harmful. What matters is the specific substance, the dose, and exposure over time. In many regions, fragrance formulas are treated as trade secrets. That protects creativity and business value, but it can frustrate consumers who want transparency. If someone has a sensitivity, they may want to know what's in the air around them. So, how do scent designers test their work? They often run trials in controlled environments and then in real spaces. They measure not only customer reactions, but also practical factors. Does the scent build up in corners? Does it fade too quickly when doors open? Does it clash with coffee from the cafe next door? They may adjust the formula or the diffusion schedule. For example, stronger in the morning, lighter in the afternoon. They also think about what's called scent fatigue. Your nose adapts. After a few minutes, you stop noticing a constant smell. That can be helpful because guests won't feel overwhelmed. But it also means the scent has to be designed so new arrivals notice it without making long-term visitors uncomfortable. There's an artistic side too. Designing a scent is like composing music with molecules. Some perfumers describe it as building a landscape, a bright opening, a textured middle, and a quiet, lasting base. And just like music, people can have strong, personal reactions. Culture plays a huge role. In some places, strong scents in public spaces are normal and associated with hospitality. In others, subtlety is valued. Even the idea of clean differs. In one country, clean might smell like lemon. In another, it might be unscented, or it might resemble soap, pine, or fresh laundry. As consumers, we can become more aware of the scented world around us. Next time you enter a store, ask yourself, do you smell anything deliberate? Does it fit the environment? Does it change how you feel? And if it does, do you like that influence, or would you prefer neutrality? Scent design will probably grow, especially as physical spaces try to offer experiences that online shopping cannot. A website can show you photos and play sound, but it can't deliver a smell, at least not yet. That makes scent a competitive tool, but the future might also push in the opposite direction. As people become more sensitive to chemicals, and as workplaces consider accessibility, we may see more fragrance-free zones. Brands may rely on scent only in specific areas or for optional experiences. To wrap up, scent design is not just about nice smells. It's a strategic, carefully engineered part of modern environments, shaped by psychology, technology, ethics, and culture. It can make a place feel welcoming and memorable, but it can also cross lines if it ignores consent and health. If you enjoyed this topic, try a small experiment today. Visit two different places, maybe a cafe and a clothing store. Pay attention to the air, not only the visuals. Then ask yourself, what is the space trying to make me feel? And how is scent helping to tell that story? Thanks for listening to Kuma English Listening Hub. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode.